Thank you for joining Przeźrocza Film Festival. My name is Krzysztof Nowicki, and hello, Maija. I would like to invite for the short Q&A after the screening of The Fantastic. So thank you for joining. Hello.
Thank you.
We watched the film, which is between some reality and some imagination. So this is the story that brings the North Korea in such a way of the videotapes, but tells something about some uncertainty between reality and imagination. Could you tell us what was the beginning of this story? When did you start thinking about this film, and how did it start, the whole story?
I didn't plan to film there. That was the basic idea, because I somehow felt I didn't want to be kind of part of that tradition that I kind of show something of this closed up state, and we out from outside kind of peep into this and fulfill our curiosity. I somehow wanted to go over that. So in the beginning, I had a plan to use a completely different image and only the voice of the interviews. Mm-hmm. But in the end, I ended up using this footage I had filmed in North Korea. But why I went there, it was before the interviews, for more like for research, because normally if I make a film, it's very often with people I somehow know for a longer time or have closer contact, and I kind of wanted to find a way for discussion that what's the point we can somehow meet with these people with very different background than mine. And then when I was following the discussion of foreign tourists about visits to North Korea, because it's possible to make a tourist there. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting because they were constantly repeating the question about, like, is it true or real what is shown to us, or is it just a performance or kind of arranged situation? And when I was expecting, like, what before the interviews, what was my expectation of how the people I was going to interview would talk about the foreign films, was that I wanted to know, my main point was that how could they know when they were watching foreign movies, like which parts of the films were representing the daily life, the reality, and which were just fantasy or totally fictive. And when I listened to these stories of these tourists, it was actually exactly the same questions. And so I went to this tourist trip. I wanted to experience this tourism in North Korea, how I experienced that reality and what kind of thought it would bring to me. But on the side of that, I had very unprofessional small pocket camera, and I filmed, I could illustrate like interiors and landscapes and so on, which kind of did not look like North Korea to me, like which did not fulfill my expectations of how it would look like. I just filmed them for no reason. But in the end, we ended up using them, but all the documentary footage, which is filmed inside North Korea, it has been, there has been VFX visual effects added to that, because I wanted to kind of distort the image so that I don't give this possibility to fulfill our curiosity and peep into this world. And only those part of the material which are filmed on the border of North Korea and China, then it's not, there is no effects on that part that's broadcast.
So obvious for you from the beginning that, or it was step-by-step developed, that you were adding this visual aspect to build this story. So was it from the beginning, or it appeared during the editing that you needed?
Yeah, it was. The editing was mostly done with the only audio, because I recorded the interviews in South Korea with former North Koreans, North Korean refugees, and we only recorded sound. And so the scenes were very much edited from this, because I really had quite a lot of material. Edited first only the discussion, and then I started to add these documentary images, and I had very good collaboration with the VFX designer Olli Leppänen, who we designed the effects together with, and then I was editing, and then we were bouncing there and back the material with Olli and tried to find the right effects for every scene. And
I have one more question also about the one piece of the film when the protagonist is saying his opinion and some memories about the film with James Bond, and he mentioned the soldiers from the North Korea that he treated being in North Korea, and they were presented, of course, as the people who are good people in general, and then he sees in the film of James Bond the North Korean soldiers as they are against James Bond and in the film, and this is it shows this two worlds that you present also in the film, that everything has can be presented in a different way, and we live in those such times of uncertainty. I would say that we are about fake news, and I read your film in such a way as also larger picture of the current situation, that we are not able to determine which is what is the truth, what is the fact that we can believe, and what is the fact that we cannot believe, and was it also the idea to make it larger in such a way about the current world, which I think also in the last month is developing the situation of the uncertainty of the facts? Do you also share this opinion that your film is even more current, I would say, and related to reality right now?
Yeah, it's for me also why it took so long time to make this film. I really had thought of kind of why would I make a film about North Korea? That was kind of, I don't really see the reason for me why it's my place to talk about that place, and it wasn't my interest. It was really like how in all my work in general, I'm interested in how we define the reality and how different ways you can see the reality. And that was really the main reason and main point in the film. And I'm so happy that this idea can be seen from there. And the James Bond scene is one of my favorites. He's totally great.
Yeah, I have the same opinion. This is one of the best points, let's say, that shows completely that we are on the same limited with our imagination of what is happening there, as they are limited with their information and imagination about what is outside, and it shows both directions. I love it.
Thank you. And it's also like, oh, of course, everyone believes that our own, everyone believes their own information is right. You kind of want to believe that your view on reality is the correct one. And I think it would be very important skill for everyone to really to rethink that, is it really so? Am I really right? And it's very healthy to really to reconsider what actually is real and true. Yeah, are you really right? And it was also interesting when doing these interviews. I found so interesting to meet these people, because very rarely you meet people who have such a perspective to life and reality. For them, it was very clear they have been living in a certain very special kind of society, and they believe in certain reality. And then something happens, and this worldview is changing, and then they have to leave. and move into completely different society. And then they notice, aha, okay, the explanation of reality is completely different here. Okay, right, I will learn this. And for them, it was kind of obvious, it was clear that you can interpret the events of life from very different point of views. So it was very pleasant and very nice experience to talk with them. I think I learned a lot myself during that time.
Thank you very much. It was really a Przeźrocza Film Festival, and this is the reality that we speak. No doubt about it. So thank you very much for the interview, and we wait for your next film, and maybe next time at Przeźrocza we will be able also to present it. And thank you very much for the conversation.
Yeah, sure. And I hope so to visit the festival someday.
Yeah, personally, that
Yeah.
we need to get rid of the current problem and
Yeah.
come back to the situation when we can invite you personally to the festival, and we will do it. Thank you very much. See you next time. Bye bye.
Bye bye.